Welcome to Trading Lounge and the US Indices for the 13th of February, and I have made a little bit of an error in this little count here, so we're going to go in and have a look at that. We'll talk about the bigger picture perhaps on Friday, and we'll also look at the bearish pictures. We haven't looked at those for a while, so we'll do that on Friday perhaps. So let's just go in here and have a look at the errors of my ways, and this is it here. So what we had before is we had this wave 4 sitting here, and we had this wave 5 sitting here. Okay, but because we've made a new high here, to keep it simple, then wave 4 needs to go there, and we need to look at this as wave 1. It was just that this wave 1 was pretty damn ugly, I have to say, but it's the best fit. So 1 and 2 here, and 3 here, and 4 here, and 5 here of the 5th wave here. The 2800 is important to me. So if I go back to the daily chart here just for a moment, I just want to talk about the trading levels. So with the trading levels, the major levels, the orange lines here, they're the most important, and then the next important are medium levels, and this is one here, and this is simply halfway between two major trading levels, so 3000 and 2000. And then from the medium levels, we go down into the minor levels, and the minor level in this case here would be the 2800, and you can see that it plays out reasonably well here, so that's important. And then if I go to the next level down, then the halfway mark between 5 and 8 is Fibonacci numbers. Then it brings us into the 2650 area through here, and you can also see that that's important. And we can break it down and down and down into sub levels and micro levels and so on, but just obviously we need to look at these levels here. We're very deep within this particular structure here, being this block here. So but it seems to be edging through quite well, chipping away at it. But let's just go back into the 4-hour chart, and then we'll go into the 1-hour chart. So what we're looking here from this wave 4 here is we're looking for wave 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 5 to finish off up here. So will it get to the 28? I don't know, but we need just to track the particular wave count that we're looking at to the upside. So on the 1-hour chart here, we were looking for short trades, and our short trades was a breach of this trend line here, so that didn't occur. So that kept us safe, and the other one was taking the low out at this particular point here, and that didn't work. So that kept us safe. But the problem is that we've missed the long trade. So that's just the way the cookie crumbles, unfortunately. So I think we had a long trade happening above this little high here, if I remember properly. So you may be long above the 30 here, or having support on the 30. So in terms of this to the upside here, I'll look at this as wave 1 and wave 2. It looks a little bit dodgy here, but on the cash market it flows nicely up to here as wave 1 and 2. And then this is a little bit tricky to read here as well. It looks like there's another structure in here of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 to get to the top here, but on the cash market it looks completed, but there can be another little high just to finish this wave 3 off here. So when we do get that high in here, wherever that may be, it may be in here or another little high, then we'll look at wave 4 pulling back to the 38.2% retracement level, and in this case, if we took this high, it would come pretty close back to the 2730 something or other. So from here to here, I don't know if that's finished yet, but you can see the 38.2 coming in just above here. So if your bottom line here, if you were looking to go higher here, then basically, if I could just borrow that segment, you would need to be under this space here for that. But in talking about the trading levels again, then if I can just move that here, 772 will be a strong number, and let's copy this here. So we've got, just put this in at 65 and 72 here. So from 2700 to 2800, and this can be in the thousands as well, it's still the same picture. So what we've got here is, copy this, we've got 20 here. So they're just the Fibonacci numbers, really. A little bit more to it than that, but in a nutshell, it's as simple as that. So from the 2700 here to the 2800, we've got what we call group 1, which is 10, 20, and 30. That's all group 1. And then the midpoint here at the 50, and then we've got group 2 here. So group 2 is 65, 72, and 80. So this will be a resistance here, but when we come to the 28 here, this will be a supporting factor for the 28 here, and then we'll have 1, 2, and 3 above here as well. So yeah, look, approaching the midpoint is really important. This is, I call just number 5 here. 5 to me is the second strongest number in the market after 1, and we can certainly expect some type of correction here. So if you're sort of day trading, then this number here is important to take some profit at, especially being later in the trend to the upside here. Also, too, you know, the next number below this as well, 50. Then the next important number below that would be number 8. So it would be 48. So 48 is where you're going to see the bids being hit at that particular space there. And then, of course, you've got the next level down would be 45. So same thing again. So from 40 to 50, there would be 1, 2, 3, 5, and 8 in that space. So these are the numbers that you can take with you and drill right down into micro levels there. The Nasdaq is the same as well. So I had wave 4 over here, and the next logical thing is to put it here. In this case, here's 1 and 2 here, and 3 here, and 4 here, and looking for a little high to come in here at 7,100. I think one of the interesting things here too I need to point out is Amazon. Let's just find that. So with Amazon here, we've been looking at this as wave 1 to the upside, and we've been looking for this to pull back, and it could pull back to the 1500 area through here, and it could still fail to pull back. But what I just want to point out here is that I'll just go to a 1 hour chart and just drill into this a little bit. So what I want to make us aware of is that, first of all, the trading levels, we've got 1500 here. So that's halfway between 1000 and 2000, of course. So that makes it a medium level here. The 1650 here is also a medium level as well here. So we can certainly use it, and we're going to use it. So I'd been counting 5 waves up here for Amazon. It's all a little bit sort of dodgy, and I never really understood this here properly. But we sort of straggled through it, and I felt like we did a reasonable sort of job here. But what I want to point out here is that from the top here, this move down is in 5 waves. So after a correction, we can expect another 5 down, and we've got that 5 down. And sure, this may just be wave 1 down here and wave 2 back to here, and then we could have wave 3 down here, and then 4 and 5 into this space here to make this wave C of move that C of 2 here, or B in this case. But if this market finds support back up on the 1650 here, because we had our first high up here, and that becomes our reference point, just in case we make a mistake, and you know, because we're not fighting the trend, we're expecting it to roll over and turn down, and it has done. But if it didn't and it moved up through here, then we'd have to be long again. As simple as that. So, but then we could bring it down to wave B here, because any move above this here would trigger it and make this corrective as well. But what we've got here, we could also have this here. If I can just copy that here, it's possible to have that there as well now. So I don't know yet. We've only got 3 waves up here, so it could certainly hit 1650 as a retest and drop here. Okay, but and in that case too, we could just grab this here and put that here and just swing that up here to there somewhat. So if that's breach, we could short that. But what I'm thinking is that I mean, this is against the S&P and the Nasdaq as we currently see it. But if this makes a high here, and we'll have some sort of corrective move here, and then we'll migrate from this high to these highs over here. So this one won't be important. So what I'll do, and just in fact now I'll bring it over here, because we want to be looking for that first high above the level. Okay, and then if this moves up through here, then obviously we're going to be going long from that point. But what it also does too is, obviously, you know, if that's going to be the case, and all this is the impulse wave, and we've got an ABC here, then we're going to have a much stronger trend to the upside here as well. So obviously that's going to take the Nasdaq higher, and the S&P will be in that space there as well. So that current top that we're looking at, because when I was looking at the SP 500, just in a more bullish note, if I can go back there a little bit. Just shooting the breeze today. So let's just go to, I'm not sure, well, okay, it was this one. So this was a count that that we looked at before. We've got bullish counts and we've got bearish counts, and that's okay, because we just keep it on the table and we rule them off one by one. But you know, what happens if that, after, you know, what we're looking for at the moment is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 to finish here, you know, so what about if it, you know, doesn't finish, if these 5 waves up here doesn't finish here, and it actually just keeps on, you know, creeping to the upside here? Well, then a count like this here, I would need to adjust this a little bit. I can see how I can improve it, but the bottom line is that it could just continue to move to the upside, and I've seen this so many times before, and we wouldn't want to miss it. You know, that's the main point. So if Amazon does that, then this count here becomes more important at that point. Okay, that's all I wanted to say. So we will have a look. I know there's a lot of bearishness out there, and we'll have a look at those counts on Friday. There's 2. There's one obvious one, and there's one that's that I have mentioned before as well. But we'll look at those then. Alrighty, that's it. Cheers.